started, I'd like to call this meeting to order. Council Vice President, if you could, the Open Public Meeting Act statement.
Yes, sir. This meeting is called pursuant to provisions of the Open Public Meetings Law. This meeting of May 19th, 2020 was included in a notice sent to the newspapers of record and posted on the bulletin board in the municipal building. It has remained continuously posted as the required notices under the statute. In addition, a copy of this notice has been available to the public and is on file of the office of the municipal clerk.
Before we get started, I'd like everybody to bow their heads for a moment of silence for Cindy Jensen. She recently passed away yesterday. She was a great person, a good neighbor. Grew up not too far away from me. So if everybody could please bow their heads, please. Okay, if please stand for the invocation and flag salute.
God of love, we trust in you with all our heart and lean not on our own understanding. We acknowledge you in all our ways and all our meetings, so you will direct our paths. Father, we do not rely on ourselves for effective results, for we are only human and often make mistakes. It is you who knows all things. So, Father, you have divine way in this meeting. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands,
one nation,
under God, indivisible,
liberty and justice for all.
Justice for all. Vicky, can we start with roll call, please?
Council President Piazza.
Here.
Council Vice President McVeigh.
Here.
Councilwoman DiGirolamo. Councilwoman DiGirolamo. Councilman Phillipsburg.
Here.
Councilman Wyatt.
Here.
Attorney Wetter is on.
Yes, Rich is here, and the mayor's also here.
Thank you.
I believe who else? Chief Stetner's also in the room.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, so Vicky, can you start with the bills list, please?
Sure. The current fund, $1,270,992.80. State and federal grants, $6,902. Sewage utility fund, $328,331.74. Sewage capital fund, $8,370. Bridge development, $632. Section 8, $3,907.80. General trust fund, $19,338.92. For a regular bill list of $1,638,475.26. Section 8 rent payments, $155,430.57. The prepaid bill list, the current fund, $5,322. Grand total of all funds, $1,799,227.83.
Okay, can I get a motion to approve the bills list, please?
Stop.
Second, please.
Second.
Thank you. Open for discussion. Councilman Wyatt.
I will be abstaining from vendor number 7014.
Okay, thank you. Councilwoman DiGirolamo?
The only question I had, I'll pose to Bob when he gets back, was related to some items under Keosha buildings and grounds that were like their COVID-19. And I know he was keeping all those expenses together in one account. So I just wanted to make sure they were coded for that, because I'm sure we both have contactless thermometers otherwise. So,
Okay.
otherwise.
All right. Councilman Fulper?
Yes, sir. Council President, regarding check number 79118, PO number 32900 to the All American Sports Corporation in the amount of $3,083.84 for the reconditioning of helmets. At this time, I would request for council to consider tabling this bill. I can't find any information on previous agendas proving council had approved the purchase of 20 football helmets for a private organization on or around August of 2019. It was ordered by a town employee that was not entrusted with the recreational budgetary funds. According to CFO Merlo, the town of Phillipsburg did in fact purchase the helmets, but I'm deeply concerned that there's no official record of our governing body approving the purchase, and now we are being asked to pay over $3,000 to refurbish them. I'm concerned for several reasons. One, we have a department head who ordered equipment using funds from another department's budget for their use in a private organization where they are in fact a managing member of, and it's almost certainly a conflict of interest, if not unethical. Secondly, I take issue that the equipment was ordered in a time frame where we were having meetings with our insurance company about the liability of purchasing and providing equipment to private organizations due to the state's insurance laws. And three, unless we were reimbursed for the equipment, have an active lease agreement negotiated by the mayor and approved by council between the town of Phillipsburg and the private organization, which would absolve us of any liability, or have plans to utilize this equipment for the town-operated sports program, I can't vote in favor of paying this bill and find it irresponsible if anyone here can. Again, we were not asked in August of 2019 to approve the purchase of almost $2,900, but we're now being asked to approve a $3,000 purchase, and that doesn't make sense. Kind of begs the question how often this has happened in the past.
Oh, okay. So you had mentioned a motion. What motion?
A motion to table. I would like the motion to table check number 79118.
Okay. Motion to table check number 79118. Can Councilman Fulper has a motion? Any second?
You have a second.
Okay. Can I get a roll call, please?
Councilman Wyatt,
Yes.
Councilwoman DeGirolamo. Yes. Councilman Fulper,
Yes.
Council Vice President McVeigh,
Yes.
Council President Piazza.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. Was that your only discussion?
Well, sir, I couldn't see anything else on there.
Okay. Council Vice President?
I'm good, sir.
Good as well. Okay, that takes care of the bills list. Discussion. We have nothing up for discussion.
Oh,
this
no,
week.
we need a vote on the bills list as amended.
Oh, sorry about that. Motion to vote for the bills list as amended.
So moved.
Need a second, please?
Second.
Second.
Okay, roll call?
Councilman Wyatt,
Yes.
Councilwoman DeGirolamo. Yes. Councilman Fulper,
Yes.
Council Vice President McVeigh,
Yes.
Council President Piazza.
Yes. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Again, we have nothing open for discussion.
I
This
think Chief Stetner was going to give his report.
Oh, I was going to. Okay, we can have him go now. I was going to go with the mayor's report. Okay, that's fine.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. Let's do that now. Let me find him real quick and unmute him. Chief,
good.
I have you unmuted. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you very well. Thank you.
Okay, so the chief had sent out digitally his police report. It's a monthly. Did you want me to read down the stats, or did you want to take care of that?
What's up to you? Whatever you like to do. Usually, I give you the stats and then I'll tell you what we have going on a little bit. So it's up
Okay,
to you.
yeah. If you could do that, I'd appreciate it.
You want me to read down the? You want me to read down the numbers?
Yeah, that's fine. Just if that's okay. I should have had it prepared digitally to share on the screen, and I didn't. Sorry about that.
No problem. The month of April, the calls for service, we had 1,479, 0 homicides, 18 assaults, 0 sexual assaults, 1 burglary, 7 thefts, 2 Narcan deployments, 27 domestic incidents, 15 arrests, no narcotics investigations, and we didn't do anything with station house adjustments this month. As far as summonses, we had 99 total, 22 moving, 54 parking, 22 town ordinances, and 1 that would be listed under other. As far as the police department, our trainings, we got a lot of our mandatory training done in the last month. Our yearly clear training, which is through the state, which was understanding drug addiction. And as far as upcoming events, unfortunately, we canceled the job fair under the circumstances, and we're looking to get a better date in the fall because I think we're going to need it. As far as the overall town, I can't say enough about our citizens right now. They've been very cooperative with everything that's been going on with the executive orders. You notice from the month before, the calls for service are down. The month before, up a lot more because we were answering a lot more calls about the executive orders and what people could and could not do. In the last month, we really had very few complaints. And you guys have any questions? That's all I have for that.
Okay. I'd like to open the floor for discussion. Councilman Wyatt.
I have nothing, thank you.
Councilwoman DiGirolamo.
Nothing, thank you.
Councilman Fulper.
I can't think of anything at the moment.
Council Vice President McVeigh.
We recently had an incident that received some media coverage and some social media coverage regarding an animal attack, and a lot of citizens have reached out. For myself, I had the opportunity to speak to other councilmen about this. They're receiving the same. Do you feel that we're okay? We're headed to what you have because it's been said there have been previous attacks. I'll let you speak, and I'm going to make sure that your department is comfortable with what we have to further thwart any media coverage or any fallout from this incident.
We as a department, along with the ACO, we've discussed this every day thoroughly. I'm confident that the ACO did everything in her power following the laws. Going forward, we are looking at other avenues that maybe we can council and ask for possibly change in ordinances that may help us a little more. And that's the process we're going through now. But as far as how it's been handled, she followed the laws, and that's all I can ask her to do.
Okay, I know the ordinance. The council president and I went over it at length. I feel the ordinance reads well. If you feel it has to possibly be looked into again, that's something we can do as a council. But at that point in time, if we're asked to do that, I would probably ask for this particular case to be run up to the Warren County Prosecutor's Office and let them review it in totality and let them decipher whether our ordinances are in order or procedurally of what we've done was accurate all around. Your thoughts, sir?
I mean, I can absolutely let them look at it.
Because I honestly, I don't want to tinker with something that to me reads clear. I'll let you sit on that. And if you want to get back to the mayor and he'll let us know, I mean, you guys can discuss it, but that's what I would suggest.
Was that it, Council Vice President?
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah, if our ordinances are lacking, I'd appreciate the assistance in dealing with those. Like I said, I went over it. I would be lying if I said I knew everything to know about law enforcement, but it read very clear to me. And I just have one question. What's the other at the very bottom? It's just a curiosity.
That would be like equipment violations. Would be a good thing.
Okay. Mr. Mayor would like to, Mr. Mayor Tersigny, sorry. It's kind of weird to say that.
He's on mute.
Hold on. I have to unmute you, sir. Are you good? Yeah, there you go.
I would be glad to go over with Council Vice President any questions he has between the police chief and myself about this particular thing he's discussed. So that is no problem. That's all. Thank you.
And to make myself clear, Mayor, I don't have any questions for you. I'm asking the police chief to discuss it with you, and it maybe that should run up to the Warren County Prosecutor's Office. I feel our ordinance is tight, and I don't want our council tinkering with something that reads clear on our end, where we should not be involved in the personnel matter and department heads. And we'll leave that to you. I don't need any answers. I got them.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, everyone. After the chief's report, I would like to move on to public comment on agenda items only. Reminder, please state your name and address. And there will be a 3-minute time limit. Council Vice President will let you know 15 seconds before it's over, so we don't abruptly cut you off. So if anybody has anything to say about agenda items only. I don't see any hand raising. If the hand raising option isn't working, please just say something in the chat. I'll give it another few seconds. All right. So we have no ordinances up for second reading. And for first reading, ordinance 2020-11 bond ordinance.
There's a hand
I'm sorry,
raising.
did one come up?
Yeah, I don't see the hand raising feature either. So.
I'm not seeing it.
Emil Brisson's got his hand raised physically.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Brisson. I am sorry about that. My apologies. I was looking off to the participation side.
No problem. Emil Brisson, 94 Bowman Street. I just had one question about the agenda. The agenda I'm looking at is item number 14, and it says veto, but this is regarding the administrative assistant, but it looks like the mayor signed it. So,
Rich, can you weigh in on that? Give us 1 second. Let me find him and unmute him here. Sorry, Mr. Brisson.
There we go. Can you hear me?
Okay, thank you, Rich. Yeah, I can.
Yep, not a problem. Right, so the ordinance was inadvertently signed. The mayor retracted that, put out to the council and to the clerk that that was an inadvertent execution of the ordinance, that his intention was to veto, and he did in fact veto it. So it's being treated as a vetoed ordinance.
so he did intend to veto it? Okay. That's it.
Yeah, it's up as a veto.
Okay.
Does that answer your question? Okay, thank you. Okay, so back to ordinance 2011, bond ordinance. First reading 05-19-2020, bond ordinance amending section 3A 6 of bond ordinance number 2017-06, finally adopted by the town council of the town of Phillipsburg in the county of Warren, state of New Jersey, on June 20th, 2017, to amend the description set forth therein. Can I get a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second, please.
Second.
Open for discussion. Councilman Wyatt,
None. Thank you.
Councilwoman DeGirolamo.
What are we amending? I read the original, it doesn't look any different.
I believe, Vicky, is this the one that is, it's funds from 2017?
It's $140,000 in recreation. That was, I assumed, I know it was never spent because I asked for 2 years, but I don't know what
think it was-
description it is.
I think it was taking Green Street out and making it for all of the parks.
Yeah,
It
there was-
included Mercer and
I think that might have been the.
Yeah, because in the description it specified Green Street and they changed it to Mercer and Howell, but they also had the ramps and all that.
okay, I did see that in the original, that's why I was asking. So are we changing the intent or?
It's for the park, the ramps to this court, and that nature, right, Vicky? That's the tennis court one. Is
Yeah.
DJ on here? Hold on. Yeah, he has his hand raised. Sorry, DJ.
Nope, it's okay. That's why I came on. Yep. So really, the only thing that we're changing is getting rid of the words Green Street to make the ordinance a little bit more broad to be able to cover all the tennis courts in the town, both at Walters Park and at Green Street. Everything else would stay the same. The amounts, the other improvements at Mercer and other parks. It's just it gives us a little bit more broad range to cover all of the jobs with all the tennis courts that need to be done.
Okay, thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Councilwoman, did I mute you?
Okay, so we are going to redo those tennis courts at Green Street then. I know DJ just got muted, but when we had talked previously, he mentioned possibly some other projects. So that's kind of what I was leaning towards. That's what we were doing here.
Is there any other questions? Oh,
No. He won't answer.
Councilman Fulper,
No, I'm good. Thank you.
Council Vice President.
Do I still have Mr. Gopasi on the line?
Yeah. Yes.
Yes, I'm here.
Oh, wonderful. No, reading through this, and I was very happy to see, and I deciphered out that the move was for all the tennis courts, and I was at recently Walters Park, and they are in dire need of repair. One thing about tennis courts are you're not going to get anybody on them unless you repair them, and aesthetically for the town, the ones at Green Street are as a high visual traffic area, and of course our crown jewel, Walters Park, to replace those, repair and upgrade those tennis courts aesthetically is a huge plus. In addition to that, will bring people onto the courts. So good luck with everything. That's all I have.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you. And the goal is to, again, it's just goal, and we want to, at the next Recreation Advisory Committee, discuss this. Definitely both sets of tennis courts done this year, just because as soon as this whole COVID-19 pandemic is over, people are going to be appreciating the outdoors more than ever, and we want to make sure we have the best facilities for our residents.
100%.
Okay. I have nothing to add, and we move for roll call. Vicky?
Councilman Wyatt,
Yes.
Councilwoman DeGirolamo,
Yes.
Councilman Fulper,
Yes.
Council Vice President McVeigh,
Yes.
Council President Piazza.
Yes. Next ordinance up for first reading is ordinance 2020-12, bond ordinance. First reading on 05-19-2020. Bond ordinance providing for various 2020 capital improvements by and in the town of Phillipsburg in the county of Warren, state of New Jersey, appropriating $1,100,000, therefore, and authorizing the issuance of $1,045,000 bonds or notes of the town to finance part of the cost thereof. Motion to approve.
So moved.
Okay, second, please. Okay, discussion. Councilman Wyatt.
I have nothing, thank you.
Okay. Councilwoman DeGirolamo.
Nothing.
Councilman Fulper.
Nothing, sir.
Council Vice President McVeigh.
Yes, 1 second, please.
Sure.
My question might have been answered in a previous discussion, so I will. I'm good, sir.
I'm okay with this ordinance. Roll call, Vicky.
Councilman Wyatt,
Yes.
Councilwoman DeGirolamo,
Yes.
Councilman Fulper,
Yes.
Council Vice President McVeigh,
Yes.
Council President Piazza.
Yes. Next on our agenda is the consent agenda. I'm going to read each item. 1 second. Title only. Resolution 2020-112, a resolution of the town of Phillipsburg, County of Warren, state of New Jersey, authorizing the expenditure of not to exceed $40,000 for the prophylaxis odor control. Resolution 2020-113, resolution of the town council of the town of Phillipsburg, County of Warren, state of New Jersey, authorizing the execution of an addendum to the operations agreement with Natural Systems Utilities to provide for the compensation of services in connection with the licensed operator of the collection system. Resolution 2020-114, a resolution approving, 2017.
There's an error there. 2019-20.
Okay. All right. Let me read it as is. A resolution approving 2017-2018 liquor license within the town of Phillipsburg with a special ruling 12:18. Resolution 2020-115, resolution reappropriating $98,371.10 excess bonds proceeds from bond ordinance numbers 2014-11, 2015-13, and 2016-13 to provide for renovations and improvements to various town parks by and for the town of Phillipsburg in the county of Warren, state of New Jersey. Let me start by, can I get a motion to amend 2020-1 114 to change the dates from, it should be 2018 to 2019. 2019, right?
Yes.
Okay, 2020. Second,
I think there's another error on there.
okay, well, on the same line?
The same resolution. Is that amount right? 14,000 or is it 1,400?
It's 1,400. Yep, 1,400. Well, it says that. Okay.
It reads 14,000?
Yes.
All right. Also to amend 1,400 to 14,000 to 1,400. Can I get a motion to amend those two items?
So moved.
Second, please.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Wyatt,
Yes, on the amendment.
Councilwoman DeGirolamo,
Yes.
Councilman Fulper,
Yes on the amendment.
Council Vice President McVeigh,
Yes.
Council President Piazza.
Yes. All right. So, anything pulled for discussion? Councilman Wyatt?
Nothing, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Councilwoman DeGirolamo?
No.
Councilman Fulper?
No.
Council Vice President McVeigh?
No, sir.
Okay. Everything's fine. Let's see. Motion to approve consent agenda as listed.
So moved.
Can I get a second, please?
Second.
And roll call?
Councilman Wyatt,
Yes.
Councilwoman DeGirolamo,
Yes.
Councilman Fulper,
Yes.
Council Vice President McVeigh,
Yes.
Council President Piazza.
Yes. Okay, now on to new business. Councilman Wyatt.
I have nothing to do.
Councilwoman DeGirolamo?
Just one item, and I'm going to give a lengthy report in no time on the NPP committee. However, they've asked for permission. I said I would bring it forward to council because we agreed the NPP would work with council approval as well as the mayor's office. So they are just looking for approval to proceed with painting the painting Chappelle Park, fixing the railings, getting the basic work done, putting flowers up, hanging baskets are going to be put up. Those were coming through a grant with the youth corps. So this is money that's been allocated for NPP. We'll talk about all four phases during open time. But phase one, they'd like to get going for June 1st, be ready for July 1st for music in the park, assuming we're good. So they just want approval. So everyone's aware they are going to repaint it white again with dark gray and put some garnet on the gazebo effect and for some art and color. So that's the basic. Not adding anything at this time, just improving everything that's there and cleaning it up and getting it ready for summer. So if nobody has any objections, we will let them know they can go ahead and proceed with project of Chappelle Park.
Yeah, I think painting garnet and gray is a great idea.
Sorry, Council President.
Councilman Wyatt, would you like to weigh in on that? Are you okay with the renovation of Chappelle Park?
Yeah, I'm fine with it, thank you.
Councilman Fulford?
No, I think it's a great idea. I'm actually 110% for it, but I think we should check with the mayor's office because I don't know if that's considered. At the last I checked, the mayor had stated that painting wasn't essential or listed as an essential work according to, I would say, I think he's taking his advice from OEM. I'm not sure. But as long as the mayor says that painting is essential, I'm all for it.
Council Vice President.
Did you want the opportunity to ask the mayor to answer that question?
Yeah, sorry about that.
It's up to,
Sure,
it's up to the mayor.
Sorry, finding a mute. Mayor Tersigni, sir.
I will check with the OEM tomorrow. If it's considered okay, we can do it, or check with the, whatever the prosecutor's office, if they say it's okay, it's okay. I'll just have to see what they have to say about that. But painting that is a great idea.
Thank you very much. Council Vice President?
No, I believe under the chief's report, I was going to introduce the prosecutor's office situation or suggestion under new business, but since the mayor, the chief's report went first, instead of under the mayor's report, which is fine. I'm good. Thank you.
Yeah, I think it's a fantastic idea. I say as soon as possible, start tomorrow.
Okay, so Mary Jo, you got a thumbs up.
Well, it can't start tomorrow. It's only if the mayor says it's okay.
They're looking at
Yeah,
June.
tomorrow.
They're actually looking at June 1st. They know they have to coordinate with the mayor's office.
All right.
Staffing. It's also going to involve painting, the curbing. So there's DPW coordination, police coordination, stand coordination. It'll all go through the mayor's office.
I think it's an excellent idea.
Okay. Thank you, Councilwoman.
Got it.
Council Vice President, would you like to weigh in?
I'm having trouble understanding the councilwoman. Is it possible she can plug in earbud devices that can go directly into the devices? Unless I'm the only one, I can't understand it. I want to be able to hear her.
Yeah, there's some sort of echo or something like that. I can hear, but it is a little hard.
Okay. Just a suggestion, Councilwoman, if you have device that can plug directly in to pick up that voice, that'd be great. But
I don't think it'll make a difference, but I'll try.
Okay.
yes, it will make a difference.
No, I don't have one.
It will. Otherwise, I'll defer to Councilman Fulper, and he'll tell you it'll make a difference. That's just sick.
Councilman Fulper, new business?
Yes, I do have new business. I just want to, I spoke with the mayor already regarding a majority of these, but to place them on record, again, in November 2019, January 2020, we brought up the residents' complaints regarding the speeding issues in Griffin Alley. Back in January, it was agreed upon that a traffic survey would be conducted. However, to date, nothing has occurred to my knowledge. So I officially, once again, request that the administration look into that matter. The second one was that residents have recently began complaining about the speeding on Firth Street, more specifically the block between Marshall and Irwin. I'd like to request that the administration speak to the engineer about possible traffic calming procedures. I know Stan had approached us prior to 2018 and had spoken great length about traffic calming procedures. I was also recently contacted 2 days ago regarding the possibility of a four-way stop being placed at the intersection of Purcell Street and Wilbur Avenue. I'm going to pass that along to the administration as well. Mayor, you'll have that email forwarded to you by the morning. The last one that I wanted to discuss was I think council should take a look and amend the property maintenance portion of our town code. I was going through it a little bit. Residents have been complaining that they've been receiving citations for not power washing their homes and for having toys in their yard. In some cases, we were seeing citations for major repairs, which would require members of our community to go to the store during a pandemic to obtain the materials. If that is, of course, if our residents are even working and currently have the money for those materials, whereby we're forcing our residents to place themselves in a position of choosing to pay for a citation or possibly contracting the coronavirus to mitigate such. I've seen the citations for not power washing their homes. I'm not exactly sure who decides when a home needs to be power washed. What scale of measurement that's being used or determines this. I think that's why council needs to place this on the agenda for our next work session. And I'm hopeful that the mayor's office will grant a reprieve to those already cited for this and request that his property inspector take into account the, current events and financial burden. And there's a lot, and many that are in our town that are facing this. I'm not saying don't cut the grass or take care of your property. Please don't misunderstand me. Lord knows many properties are out there, but some of the violations listed in the code are absurd.
Thank you very much, Councilman Fulper. Mr. Mayor, you have your hand raised. Hold on one second. Sorry.
Yes, I did. I will address that in the mayor's report, what Councilman Fulper is discussing.
Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you very much, sir. Council Vice President McVeigh.
Good, sir.
Okay, new business. I'd like to address. I know I've talked to various council members and the mayor early on about an audit, a deep audit, maybe a forensic type audit. I mean, we can use Nitsavaskia. Is that how you say it? I would say it wrong.
Nitsavaskia?
Nitsavaskia, yeah. Maybe talking to them about going through. I don't want to be surprised by any unpaid invoices, outstanding bills, accounts that are left not closed. I'd like to tidy everything up financially if that's possible. It's just good bookkeeping. I don't know the last time that something like that occurred. But I think that would be a good idea going forward. So I think maybe we should try to contact them and see what it would take to get that ball rolling.
I would support an audit wholeheartedly. I think that's definitely what's needed, Council President.
Thank you. I feel like I spoke to everybody about that at one point or another.
That not regular audit?
I would say maybe go back a few years, be more of a forensic style audit, just to make sure everything is on the up. I know that there were some things missed in the past few years that are coming to light now. I want to make sure we don't get surprised by anything else. That's all I have. We do have one tabled item from the previous meeting. It is Resolution 2020-100, a resolution designating handicap parking spaces within the town of Phillipsburg. Motion. Yes, sir.
If I may, I would recommend, after speaking with the clerk's office today, this remain tabled.
Okay.
Currently, there are the addresses have still not been verified, and the addresses that were on the original resolution still remain. Some that I know have been removed with regard to being handicap spaces. Since parking's limited, I don't believe that we should pass or approve this resolution without it being double checked. It's
Okay.
just my 2 cents.
Yeah, if you're seeing discrepancies now, yeah, we shouldn't be approving. I'll put it up for a motion. Motion on the table. Okay. How about if we arrange to have that list looked at, make sure it's accurate, and we're not just going through the.
Council President, I did verify today with the mayor's secretary. They are already in motion. It's already.
Oh,
in
okay.
motion. Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. So we'll leave that tabled until we know it to be accurate.
Yes, sir.
All right. Then I'd like to. The chief already went. I'd like to welcome the mayor. He has a report this week. His bi-weekly report. You have the floor, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Council President. First of all, it's Mayor's Report, May 19, 2020. I'd like to start off by saying thank you to all the residents for following social distancing in the town. By doing this, the cases in Phillipsburg are holding steady and have been up very slightly in the last several days, but the recoveries are rising consistently. The St. Luke's COVID-19 ward, I was told, has closed due to decreases of cases. We are preparing for a reopening of our municipal building. Procedures will need to be put in place in order to open safely for both employees and residents. More to come when this will happen. Also, businesses have having a soft openings soon, according to Warren County freeholder Jason Sarnowski. I am in contact with the Warren County for conference calls twice a week, and they will put out a news release as soon as it happens. The NPP is moving forward, which Councilwoman DiGirolamo stated, with the downtown project. You will see planters, benches, and much more to make our downtown more inviting to both residents and non-residents. The plans that Mary Jo and her staff have done exceptional. A lot of hard work is put into the project. Looking forward to helping and getting involved and ask others if they can. Starting this week, the sewer lines will be scoped to the road, so the road project can move forward. This is done to make sure there are no problems with the sewer lines before repaving the roads. This is the message from the inspector. Due to the COVID-19, the violations for inspection will be extended 30 days. Hear me out. Please use the time to abate or plan with the official for an extended date. The mayor's office will be flexible and compassionate to those in need more time. And the more time they will certainly have. You need to contact our inspector, and he will work with you now and in the future. And he has already done by doing this with residents who have contacted him. But I wanted to state that I wrote in an email, I just added this, that I've had 2 situations which a 4-way stop should be looked at also at Wilbur and Thomas. I was addressed by two residents, and I believe this should be done. The town will honor our fallen heroes on Memorial Day. For the excitement that will be in our streets, do not be alarmed. There'll be plenty of noise. It happens. That will be on Memorial Day. So look for that to honor our veterans and for Memorial Day and the ones who've made the ultimate sacrifice for our freedom and liberty. That's all I have at this time. Respectfully submitted, Todd M. Signy, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor. Appreciate it. Next on our list is veto by Mayor Signy of Ordinance 2020-8. This will be a motion to override the mayor's veto. I do have that right, Rich, right? Just want to make sure I phrase this properly. Okay.
Yes.
Can I get a second on the motion to override the mayor's veto?
You have a second.
Okay. Discussion, Councilman Wyatt?
I think that you heard my discussion before. I don't think at this time we should add any new positions to the town. It's something that we could and maybe should next year look at this, but this year I'm not ready to add any positions to Phillipsburg under the circumstances that we're under right now.
Thank you very much. Councilwoman DiGirolamo? Oh, I'm sorry. I did that.
No, nothing.
Okay. Councilman Fulper?
Yes, sir. I know that I voted for this ordinance last meeting. However, this evening I am going to support the mayor's veto. However, I'm confused as to the reason for the administration making the move. And the reason that I say this is because Mayor Signy did state on his veto, almost echoing what I had read on social media from former Councilman Lee Clark and former Mayor Ellis, that now is not the time. While I agree that now is definitely not the time to be adding any funds to our budget, I find it perplexing because the mayor actually created this position back in March 3rd, 2020, to be exact, by way of executing a personnel action form. At that time, council was not aware that this move was made. Now, it's to my knowledge that the intention of the administration was to make a lateral transfer, with said employee being removed from the Department of Public Works and placed to the administration at the same salary. This was confirmed by Mayor Tresigny during a March meeting that we had held together in the municipal building, strictly between the two of us. Once council had learned of this and insisted that he backfilled the DPW position, things changed. Now, although he does not have the power as per town code to carry out such an action, it didn't prevent it from happening, and it didn't prevent an employee being promised the position. Now, I voted yes to the ordinance because I believe the facts as they occurred showed there was a promise of employment and a salary discussed and agreed upon. I did not feel we as the town of Phillipsburg should be subjecting ourselves to the liability that may occur from the fallout of making promises, acting outside of our respective duties, and ultimately, in a phrasing that I could only coin as leading an individual on into believing that they had a job when in fact they did not. Regardless of who is the appointing authority, and regardless of circumstance, this never should have had come before council in the form of an ordinance after these events had already taken place. In fact, it should have been discussed with us and the decision made by us before making promises and agreeing to salaries. I'm going to chalk this up to learning experience because I've already spoken to the mayor, and we've spoken in a cordial and gentlemanly manner, and I'm going to support his right to veto. My only request is that in the future, please do not use phrasing such as "now is not the time," when in fact the time seemed right when it was created on March 3rd, 2020 by the mayor's office. This put council in a very awkward position, but tonight you'll have my support for your veto.
Okay, thank you very much, Councilman.
You're welcome.
Council Vice President?
This is a tough one for me. I like rules, and at no time this was carried out in any form or fashion of a steady path and file to employment or transfer. And the promise of employment was something that really scared me off, and that's kind of, we went the direction and kept carrying it through. I've been there and done that during my tenure, and I saw how that has ended up, and I did not want that to resurface once again. The transfer of that, if it was going to be an existing employee, and if the mayor was not to backfill whoever that employee was going to be within his reach, as long as that wasn't backfilled until January 1, there was no budgetary impact. So the public outcry, and public has every right to outcry, or the concerns of the public of increasing the budget was not an increase of budget. I would hope that the public would entrust this council, as we were the first to cut our own salaries and suggest the mayor do the same to get the budget to where it had to be. Why would we increase it? So we did not even have to fill the position. I still firmly believe there is a need. There needs to be, after speaking with our clerk on a daily basis, I believe that there's a need for it. And if we have to get to that on January 1, we do. If we get to it tonight, we do. However the votes lie. But I will say this. I know Councilman Fulper was more gracious in saying that this is chalk it up to experience. Our mayor had 8 years as a councilman. And to me, I got 2.5, and I understand the rules. So to me, I will, if I could abstain, I would, but I was not elected to abstain. I'm not a fan of abstaining if I have the right to figure out the vote. So when it comes time, I'll give you my answer. Thank you, Council President.
Sure. I feel this position does need to be created. I think now, but if it has to happen in the future, I'm okay with that as well. It does eventually need to happen. The creation of this position is by no means a promise of employment or a hit on the budget. Those are two separate actions. Those are two separate incidents. I can differentiate between the two. With that being said, I would just like for this to go to roll call.
Councilman Wyatt,
No.
Councilwoman DeGirolamo,
Sorry, I'm possibly muted her.
I've been muting it, but I don't think I'm the background noise. No. No.
Councilman Fulper,
Okay, now I'm confused. Vicky, is it no to against the veto or yes to accept it?
This is a motion to override the veto.
I will not support overriding the veto. My vote is no.
Hold on, Rich is going to weigh in. I want to make sure we get this right.
Yeah, no, you got it right, Council President. It's a motion to override the veto. So if you're voting yes, you're voting in favor of overriding the veto. If you vote no, the veto would stand.
Okay, thanks, Rich.
Thanks, Rich. It's been a long time since we had a mayor veto anything.
Your vote?
Not really.
No, I know.
Your vote, Councilman Fulper?
My vote is no.
Council Vice President?
My vote is yes.
My vote is yes as well. The veto stands, correct? Yes. Okay. Now I would like to open the floor to public petitions. There will be a 3-minute time limit. And please state your name and address for the clerk. Joe. Oh, hold on. I muted him. My bad. Joe.
There I go.
There you go, Joe. Sorry.
I'm Joe Miner. I live at 392 South Main Street in Phillipsburg, and it's really nice to be wrong once in a while. I was worried about lead, and you may remember, and I wanted it tested. I have had it tested, and it's really wonderful to be wrong. Midwest Laboratories, a very worthwhile, they did the test. Their threshold for the presence of lead is 1 in 2 billion. The acceptable level of lead is 15 parts per billion. We didn't even make the threshold, meaning we have at least my house on South Main Street, which has got the old plumbing. The lead content is absolutely negligible. It's below the threshold of the test. So I'm thinking it's really nice that I've been wrong. Well, I'm glad we got it tested. That's all. That's all. Hallelujah. Anybody want a copy of the test? It's Midwest Laboratories. I'm holding it in my hand, and after the coronavirus, I'll drop it off at the municipal building.
Yeah. I have somebody asking to ask a question. Joe, are you finished? I'm sorry.
Yes, I'm done.
Okay, thank you. There's a couple questions, I believe, in the chat. Mike Stiers, let me bring up. Mr. Stiers, can you state your name and address, please?
Yeah, Mike Stiers.
Are you there, sir?
269 Irwin Street in Phillipsburg. Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. Hi, my name is Mike Stiers. I live at 269 Irwin Street in Phillipsburg. I have a question. I was wondering if the town council could ask the town attorney how long an uncertified supervisor may sit in a position before getting certified.
Ooh, I don't know how to answer that. That would, I think that falls under personnel in the office of the mayor.
Correct.
Yeah, that'll have to be taken up during the hours of the mayor via email or phone, if you could, sir. That council really has no authority over personnel, hiring practices, things like that, or qualifications.
Okay.
I am sorry about that.
Oh, that's all right. Thank you. That's all.
Okay. Mr. Morissette, you have a question you'd like to ask in the chat? I'll read it out loud if you want to type it out. If there's anybody else in the meantime. Miss Chesla. Found you there.
Okay,
Lori?
can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi, Lori Chesla from Meadowview Drive, Lepacon. I'm calling just because, as you know, I'm the Lepacon Recreation Chair for our committee over there, and I was just curious if you guys have made any decisions yet on your music in the park fees and opening your pool and all that.
Okay. Yeah, I think the poll was finalized. I'll reflect with the mayor. I think he was there for the discussions on the pool a couple of weeks ago. Did we decide that?
That is correct, Council President. The pool will not be open this year, and it was cut from the budget, number one. Number two, the music in the park, they're discussing, pending that they would start, I believe it was in August, if it can be, instead of the regular time. That has not been determined yet, Miss Chasla. So that's where we are with that. Hope I answered your question.
Yeah, I think we're doing the same over on our side, but I will keep you posted too to what we decide to do with music in the park. I don't believe our pool is opening either, but council will make that announcement at their next meeting. But thank you. That's all I had. Good job, guys. Thanks.
Thank you very much. This question, Rich, this might be for you. I don't even know if we can answer this, but I'll read it. This is from David Morissette, 5 Fairview Heights, Phillipsburg, New Jersey. The question is, has the town paid attorney that represented former Mayor Ellis in case that was adjudicated in early part of this year where he was acquitted, and the judge explicitly said in her decision that was a politically motivated case? And a follow-up question, if it has not yet been paid, why not? Thank you.
So that would be a question for Bob Merla, who's on vacation, but I'm sure we can get that answer for Mr. Morissette.
Okay. Would it be acceptable for him to email Bob? Is that okay, or should that be done in
That'd be. I have no problem with that. I'm sure we can get the answer to. Well, actually, not email him this week because he's on vacation.
No, he's not around. Sure.
Yeah.
Mr. Morissette, I hope that satisfies your question. Mr. Brisson, let me find you again, sir. Mr. Brisson?
Emil Brisson, 94 Bowman Street. I have 2 questions. One had to do with the consent agenda. Was the title or the number on the first resolution changed to what was it? 112? On the agenda that I have, it's 212. I'm assuming it's supposed to be 1.
Yeah, we did get an updated agenda, the early agenda. I'm sorry about that. I should have specified.
So
Yeah,
it was changed.
It was changed, yes, sir.
The other question that I had was on the agenda that I had, there was another bond ordinance 2020-13. Was that deleted?
Vicky, what the third one that was on there? That was one that was
2013 was actually 2020-04. And it was a duplicate when the bond council sent it to me. It was included with all the other bonds, and I thought it was a new bond, and it was an old bond, so it wasn't supposed to be on.
Okay.
The previous bonds that were put on this agenda were lumped in with that one, and that one got put on this agenda by mistake.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Was there anything else, sir?
Nope, that's it.
Good. Thank you. Anybody else? I'm not seeing any more hands raised. No, nothing else in the chat. Okay. We there's no new motions. We have no. Oh, council. Fine. Councilman Wine, would you like to go ahead, please?
The occurrence with the pit bull attack. My heart goes out to the owners of that small dog that had to be put down, and you know, my thoughts have been with them ever since it happened, and to see that video, it really touched me. And I hope that we did everything in our power, okay, to not allow this to happen again. You know, the pets that we have, and I have had many, are part of our family, really. So, you know, to put lightly about, well, you know, it wasn't a person, okay. The bites that the individual occurred was, you know, in defense of that attack. And I understand that the attack was not on the human, but it was on the small dog. But, you know, defending that dog, you know, goes and says volumes, how that individual felt about that dog, and what he was going through. And I just wanted to express my sincere, you know, wishes and you know, just hope that we did everything possibly, okay, so that this doesn't happen again. If this, you know, and I'm not sure, but I'm told that it's not the first time that this has happened, and they still weren't licensed, and I wonder why. And you know, I think that there's still answers out there that I'd like to have, and you know, but my deepest condolences goes out to the family of that small dog. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Councilwoman DiGirolamo. Council.
I will echo Councilman Wyatt. That video, I haven't seen it till somebody sent it to me. A pet owner for all rescue animals. It was disturbing. I spoke to Michelle, I know immediately. And I said, if there's something within the law that needs to be strengthened, tell me. Much of the statute that you're reading is related to the state statute. So when I sent this email saying if we need to strengthen this, let me know, and I will gladly lead a charge to ask the state to strengthen whatever you're telling me is weak. Again, the determination, this is a police matter, so I left it in their hands. I just, that was a truly horrific thing to have to say. It's very sad that it happened. So we'll start out with sad, go on to positive. I was with Mayor on the Phillipsburg reopening meeting with Freeholder Sarnowski. So that was very nice. There were 3 students of Phillipsburg businesses assisting other businesses getting ready. Consistent signage will be in place. They're looking at all the antibacterial things that will have to be in place. So there is a lot of discussion with opening, so I'm happy to hear that. The NPP, we have been very, very, very busy. I will be sending everything to Vicki so council to review it. muted. The MPP has broken up into 4 teams. There's an event support team, a design team, a promotion team, and a business development. The design team and business development have been the ones most active right now. Promotion and the event team will be working on things like Music in the Park, which is actually, the time frame we discussed was July. Town Fest, Palooza, pop-up markets, things like that. So we do have a full layout of what they're planning to work on and when. So I will send that to Vicki to everyone. The design team is what we're talking about right now with flowers and phase 1. They've divided it up into 4 phases and put all their ideas on paper. So I have it to distribute to council, and I will do that after this meeting. I also had a fantastic call with HUD and the Envision Center and the Bridge Project. So we will have some very, very exciting things to do as I've been working with Bridge and HUD and the Fed and DCA, because there's a lot going on with DCA. So I will be probably making an announcement at the next meeting on what's happening with that. We have some excellent things to talk about regarding the opportunity zone, bringing smaller businesses into the loop, and getting some excellent excitement around that program with the support of HUD and Barbara Grusin and everybody out of the regional office of HUD, who has taken a very big interest in this. So I'm proud to be working with all of them. I was also on the library discussion that night in the Board of Ed meeting. So for those that haven't logged into the Board of Ed meeting, discussions on the budget, I recommend the next one. We did just have a loss this COVID-19. I have now lost 10 friends to COVID-19. Just had the 10th last night. It's tough. What I will say for the public interest is everyone has an underlying condition, which is one of the reasons you don't see me out as much. It's one of the reasons I stay home. So to those who do have underlying conditions, I recommend you do follow the guidelines. Summer music work we talked about. So the community is aware Thomas the Tank will not be happening in June or July. At best, it'll be August, and it's only going to be 3 days. If it doesn't happen in August, they are looking at possibly October. Ticket sales will still be going on sale. They're hoping to be able to have the Polar Express. They have not been given cash yet to open the excursion, but Thomas will be half the time and much later because of what's going on right now. Fantastic conversation with our stigma-free meeting. So the countywide stigma-free had a meeting last week, and through that, I met someone from AmeriCorps who is going to be a very good asset, and we have a conference call tomorrow, so I'll have more to report on that at the next meeting regarding some grants and the stigma-free initiative and how I can be funded. So I am still looking to share that stigma-free group if anyone is interested. Also, Barbara from HUD introduced me to everyon.org. Actually a program to make internet access and computers affordable for everybody. So I'm sure the Section 8 office distributed it to all the Section 8 people. I have the information on the internet on Facebook, and I will send the clerk to post on the town website. It is a very nice program. A lot of people will qualify, and it gives you internet $9.99 a month for those that need assistance. So I will be sending information on that program out. One thing I know my company has talked about, we are not talking about what we're doing next week. We're talking about what we're doing 6 months from now. And we all think we're still going to be working from home. So from the news I saw on education and schools and everything else, the world is going to change over the next 90 days of how we're used to doing things. There's possibility schools will not be going back the way they were. That's a big change. So with the library being closed, we have to look out for our community. Majority of people I'm hearing from now just don't have internet access. So this is a program that could be bringing it to everybody for the hotspots. So that was a phenomenal program. I also attended a stormwater utility presentation to learn more about that idea. Still not a fan because I'm not a fan of the rain tax. It is what it is. There are some good features to it, I learned. So I do see some upside, but still not a fan of it. I do want to thank Senator Doherty, who I spoke with about getting New Jersey working. Had a concern, he addressed it immediately. And I also had a with Mayor Bridgewater. And this is a shout out to our town employees because heading off that call, their statistics were as follows. Their revenue in their town was down 70% as a result of COVID-19. 7%. So they are struggling to keep their head above water. They furloughed 20% of their staff. Their tax ratables are below 50% now. Town of Phillipsburg is in a pretty good position that we did not have to make a significant cut. I saw the revenue figures come in recently on that report. We're in a lot better shape. So hats off to the town employees who helped make that happen. I'm sure we'll back into session, some of that revenue will start coming back, but in comparison to some other communities in the area, we are doing a lot better. So hats off to all of them. And just on the record, I want to state I'm in full agreement with the state minority on allowing the kids to have an graduation ceremony. The minority has put out, they are imploring the governor to allow high school graduates to have an outdoor ceremony. I've sent my letter of support. I hope everybody else would as well. I've already done it. So on the record, I do support that initiative to allow our community to have an outdoor graduation ceremony of some sort. That's all I have. Thank you.
Sorry. Thank you very much, Councilwoman. Councilman Fulper?
Council President, I was just informed that the town of Phillipsburg lost resident Rachel Barnes this afternoon to COVID-19. This is it's horrible news, but it serves to prove that this virus is very serious and in fact very real. My heart truly breaks for the friends and family of Rachel. You know, Frank, Danielle, you remember Rachel, we met her on the campaign trail. She was an absolute, genuinely kind soul, and she lost life far too young. I'd like to offer my sincerest condolences to the family of Rachel Barnes. Man, that's a tough one. I also want to thank our first responders, our essential employees, for keeping things moving and keeping us safe and free from harm during this pandemic. During the pandemic, I also want to make note that, you know, despite what you may see or hear during these meetings, not in the chat section by David, but on Facebook, or, you know, here, yes, there may be some general disagreements on this council or between the administrative and legislative portions of the government, but this does not stop us from getting the job done, and nothing is ever taken personally. And it's refreshing to know that we can have discourse without grudges. For me personally, I'm very well aware that some feathers may end up ruffled by certain individuals out there, but folks, things have been broken in Phillipsburg for a very long time, and they need to be fixed, or else you're all going to keep paying for it. So I'm going to continue with my service and stand by the oath that I swore for this community. Lastly, we may be in quarantine, but that's not going to stop us from focusing on the positive and recognizing those in our community with special occasions. So just like last time, I would like to make an early congratulations to Mary Keltz Nelson, who will be a grandmother for the 12th time tomorrow, as her daughter Tiffany is scheduled to give birth in the morning. Congratulations. I also want to congratulate Ray Pat. Ray's 23rd employment anniversary with ShopRite was today. That is an amazing feat and absolutely worth bragging about. Also worth bragging about is Pete and Lori Werfel are celebrating their 18th wedding anniversary, and Bill and Rosemary Spencer are celebrating their 49th wedding anniversary. A very big happy anniversary to both beautiful couples. Happy birthday to Jennifer Ara. Happy birthday to Scott Powell, who will be 66 tomorrow. Former Councilman Mark Lutz also will be celebrating his birthday tomorrow. Happy birthday, Mark. Mark shares his birthday with Amanda Bridge, who also celebrates her birthday as well tomorrow. Happy birthday, Amanda. Jody Bartharand, who's celebrating her birthday on the 21st. Happy birthday, Jody. And for those keeping up to speed on Facebook, Jody has been through her fair share of issues lately, but she's a warrior in every sense of the word, and there's no doubt she'll be back on her feet soon. So get well soon, Jody. Also celebrating their birthday on May 21st is Bianca Skirbo. She's going to be 25 again, and Bianca's mom, Rita, says happy birthday, as do we. Happy birthday, Bianca. Keegan Hall, a monstrous little football player for the Little Liners, turns 11 years old on Friday the 22nd. Happy birthday to Keegan. Joyce Pesaresi's daughter is celebrating her birthday on the 24th, and her grandson is 13 years old today. A huge happy birthday to the Pesaresi family. Dustin Pierce celebrating his birthday on May 27th. Happy birthday, Dustin. And a very good friend of mine, Ariel Sulik, her little boy JJ turns 6 years old on May 29th. So happy birthday to JJ. Kobe Gumalak will be 17 on the 30th, and he's going to be taking his driver's test on June 1st. So that means we're probably going to need more four-way stops, Mayor. Happy birthday to Kobe. Norm Honey, well, he wants to thank the Easter Bunny for coming to Phillipsburg. And Frank Vey wants to celebrate his Freedom podcast on January 1st, 2022, but he's got some time, so we're going to wait on that. And last but not least, because I know that he thought I forgot, my son Vincenzo turns 11 years old on the 28th. So happy birthday, Vin. I love you with all of my heart. Folks, Phillipsburg is one tough community, and we all will hang in there together, and we'll get through this craziness side by side, because that's what we do. All things considered, I hope each and every single one of you have a safe Memorial Day weekend, and keep in mind all of those who have fallen to protect the very freedoms we enjoy today. And that's all I have, Council President.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Council Vice President? Oh, keep forgetting that. Thank you.
Thank you very much. First and foremost, I thank Vicki Kleiner. She's amazing. She does a lot of work in that office, day in and day out, and on the weekends, and on nights, and on holidays. And congratulations on your recent special occasion, Vicki, to you and your entire family. Second, I want to thank Kelly Leffler, who does an amazing job whenever we call in and we need some stuff taken care of, or some answers, or some direction on where we can, square up with the mayor and when we need him. Kelly, you're doing an amazing job. Thank you so much. Third, I want to remind people now that the governor has opened up our curbside service. We actually had a very nice WFMZ with Warren Business Products came down to our town, and they did a nice piece on that. Please support small business as we continue to grow. I don't like those big lines to Kentucky Fried Chicken. I know the council president likes it, but when they go on the highway, when they end up on the highway, I mean, come on, a couple cars, but not that big line. Let's support our small business. I want to thank our town employee, Craig Brotens, who has helped me learn through tax mapping, and I'm going to get into as I follow out for my shout outs. Why I'm thanking Craig is because he's walked me through and helped me a lot with tax mapping, and it was something we approved that early on as a council a couple of years ago, and that continues to morph and grow itself. It was a great investment for the town. If it's a handy tool to me, I can't believe what it does for Ms. Wargo and Mr. Bruins inside their office. So thank you so much, the two of you. Fifth and sixth is a tie between our counselor Rich Renner and our engineer and Stan Schreck. Can't thank you enough. We've worked so closely the last couple of weeks. Council President and I are we are utilizing our COVID-19 time to embark on some major, huge projects, 5 to be exact. We really haven't gone over them with the mayor yet. We just give him enough to let him know what we have going on, because he has his hands full, obviously. So what we're doing is working closely with our counselor and our engineer, who give us insane amounts of great suggestion And I will tell you to a man, nobody wants to see this town explode more than our professional services people who indelibly have great interest in our town and moving forward, and they are doing their job 100%. I also want to thank, segregate him out from Stan's office, is special, and I believe he's on the call today, is Tim O'Brien from Van Cleef. Tim has really worked hard on his particular, one of our 5 projects we're working on. He's worked particularly hard to make things available, information affordable to our developers that have interest in our town, stuff that's over Council President I's head. Fantastic, Tim. I know you're on this call, and Stan, you got a real gem there. Really appreciate that. And lastly, I just wanted to be a little personal as we talked about this incoming growth that's going to happen to our town, and it is coming. I know you've heard that in the past, and because of infighting, it never came. Well, I'm going to tell you folks, it's coming, and it's going to come all at once, and you're going to see in the coming weeks as far as what our council is going to be providing to put out to the public for services and developers and architects to be involved in our town. With that being said, it's one of the reasons why that I supported putting that extra person in our clerk's office, and I still do that. I hope that in the future, going into 2021, and we can come out of this with some revenue that's not so adversely affecting our budget. But we really have to think. Myself, I implore the mayor on this to think about outside the box where we have to go with personnel and what certain jobs are done in town and what needs to be done in town, what voids need to be filled, and where we have to go for the future. The old Phillipsburg is going to be in the rearview mirror. We have to move forward. And don't want to play behind the 8 ball. We want to be ahead of it and be ready. And that's some of the decisions we're making as a redevelopment committee moving forward. So I'm hopefully that I have confidence in the mayor's office to do that. And sitting down in the future, just know that we're here to discuss it with him if he needs our help. I wish everybody a safe couple of weeks till we meet again. Council President, bring us home.
Okay, first, I missed someone during the petition. Sorry, Corey Sullivan. He went. What was that?
Oh, I like Corey.
Oh yeah, he doesn't. He wanted me to just let everyone know that all of the banners are up between the Hometown Hero banners are up between 3rd Street and Stockton Street, and you can, when you drive down the street, you'll see them hanging, and I think they look fantastic. I know people have been posting relatives, their loved ones that have served on the banners that they purchased. It's a fantastic look for our town. I just know that everything seems a little chaotic in our town and even in the world right now. So maybe instead of putting the foot on the gas and trying to get back up to that fast-paced speed and lifestyle we were living before, maybe gradually head back in. Maybe the craziness doesn't have to come back all at once, all in one weekend, all in 1 week. Just sit back and take everything in, take life in. And if you're allowed to go out, allowed to go places, maybe do it at a little slower pace and enjoy yourself. And with that, I'd like to motion to adjourn.
Council President.
Yes, sir.
Before you motion to adjourn, I want to apologize. I forgot to mention Kathy Sampson as well. Kathy Sampson's birthday is also on the 27th, and she's going to be 60 years old. So happy birthday to her as well.
The mayor would actually like to add something at the end there too.
Oh, is it his birthday too?
Happy birthday, Mayor.
Mine is until Labor Day, September. I just forgot to say one thing too, and Councilman Wyant is to recognize Mr. Powell's misfortune there about the dog attack, and thinking about that family as well. And one of the people in the chat room stated that, and I wanted to make sure that got out there too, and wish everybody a safe and Memorial Day weekend also. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. With that, I'd like to motion to adjourn.
So moved.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
8:30.